Chances are, if you haven't been living under a rock, you have seen this video.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
I can explain.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, on this channel we review theology books, books in general, and anything to do with theology and furthering the kingdom of Christ. If you're interested in this, please subscribe down below, and I hope you enjoy this video. All people everywhere, and it's all over X, all over social media, people are laughing at this video. You can see memes for days or videos that people have made to mock this couple and mock this entire situation, but it begs the question, why do we as a society react the way that we do to infidelity, to cheating on a spouse? It's getting more and more popular nowadays to think of marriage as only a contract and not understanding it as an institution, but we don't live this way as a society, obviously, by the way that we reacted to this video. You can just ask anyone if cheating is morally wrong or morally okay, and you're going to 10 times out of 10 get the answer, yeah, you shouldn't be cheating on your spouse. It's interesting because a lot of states, including the state of Georgia, still consider infidelity to be a crime, to be a misdemeanor. If a spouse cheats on a spouse, you can be arrested or cited for this offense. In a lot of states, you have at-fault divorce, where that can change your circumstances of the divorce decree of how the things get separated based on if the spouse was infidelis or not. For all atheists, agnostics, and anyone in the secular realm that wants nothing to do with religion, they're being inconsistent with their worldview to state that something like adultery is wrong. We can say it's lying, we can say that it's deceiving, we can say it's hurtful to the other partner, and that you're going back on what you promised to do to have a lifetime of monogamous love with your partner. But all of this is meaningless in a meaningless world. Famous atheist Richard Dawkins, he says, in a universe of electrons and selfish genes, blind physical forces and genetic replication, some people are going to get hurt. Other people are going to get lucky, and you won't find any rhyme or reason in it, nor any justice. The universe that we observe has precisely the properties we should expect if there is at bottom no design, no purpose, no evil, no good, and nothing but pitiless indifference. So again, in an ever-increasing secular society that states that there is no such thing as objective good or evil, we sure act like this is still a wrong thing, that this situation, that cheating on your marriage, on being infidelous with another woman or another man, it's wrong. And this is inconsistent with the confession that secular society states, that these things are not objectively right or wrong. So enter Scottish common sense realism. In light of the skepticism of David Hume, who was an empiricist, a radical empiricist at that, who stated that we cannot prove God, but we can prove the world. So we ought to do away with God and just only believe that which we can prove that is in front of us. And no one was able to contradict this, but then Thomas Reid, he brought us back to our senses. Thomas Reid, he was a philosopher, born April 26, 1710, died October 7th, 1796. He contrasted this skepticism from David Hume and told people we need to get back to our senses. And I'm quoting from The Journey of Modern Theology. Hume's position was destructive not only of the Christian faith, but also of science and of common prudence. Underlying Hume's skepticism was apparently reasonable and enlightened claim that we are to admit nothing but what can be proved by reasoning. Reid's immediate response was to retort that if this be so, then we must be skeptics indeed and believe nothing at all. However, he wryly observed that Hume himself could not keep to this principle either in his daily life or in his philosophy, nor, for that matter, can any skeptic. Over and over again, Reid pointed out that men could not live by skepticism alone. If a man pretends to be a skeptic with regard to the information of the sense, and yet prudently keeps out of harm's way, as other men do, he must excuse my suspicion. So Hume, through his skepticism, brought a lot of problems to what we can prove that we know. And Thomas Reid brought us back to reality and said, you know these things be true. And while you can claim that you don't believe in things that we cannot see, that you only believe in the material world, you do not live in a way that reflects this confession that you give. So say you're standing in the middle of the road with your back turned and a semi-truck is driving straight down the middle of the road and going to hit you. You don't see it, and maybe you're wearing headphones and you cannot hear it, yet it is coming for you. And you see people are starting to surround you and saying, move out of the road, you're about to get hit. You have one of two options. One, you can stand on your beliefs that you espouse and saying that that semi doesn't exist because I cannot hear it, I cannot see it, I know it does not exist. Or you can trust the reality of the situation of seeing people saying that it exists and get out of the way and save your life. So this is the same way for morality. We live in a world that we know that this semi-truck exists, and we stand in the middle of the road and we ignore it and pretend it does not. We have one or two options. We can stand on our belief and say, no, we don't care. Morality doesn't exist, and whatever happens, happens. It's all indifference. Or we can move out of the way, knowing that it exists, even though we can't see it. And you hear this from atheists and agnostics and just secular people all the time, that they want to claim that things are morally wrong, such as the Crusades, or say that people that are against abortion are wrong because they don't support women. They try to make these moral claims that are right or wrong, but them espousing moral values proves that the foundation of their entire worldview is wrong. It completely shatters. They have no objective reasoning or some basis to state why that these things are right or wrong. So back to the CEO cheating example, he's going to face some severe consequences for his actions. He's going to have an at-fault divorce, if that exists. He's going to have a loss of his job. Obviously, that's already happened. He's already in the process of stepping down per social media posts that I've seen. He could even, if he was in the right state, this won't happen, but he could even theoretically face criminal charges for his infidelity. But why? In a secular society that says God doesn't exist or puts him off and acts like he doesn't matter in everything, this simply doesn't add up. People, you may call his actions morally wrong, but they have no foundational basis for why they think that it is wrong. Sure, you can think in your head, yes, you shouldn't cheat on someone. Yes, you shouldn't lie. You shouldn't deceive. You shouldn't do something that hurts someone when you say that you're going to be with them. But why? What is the foundation for this belief? Where does it come from? Because in the secular world, there's no answer for this. There's no foundation. The only answer for this morality question is to say that this idea that we think that these things are right or wrong is that we have it hardwired into us from something. And that this is something that a materialist or an empiricist cannot prove, that Hume's skepticism cannot make sense of, that the secular, atheistic, and agnostic people of the world just cannot prove. We look at something like this, like adultery, and state that so clearly that is wrong because we have it hardwired into our own brain, because evil is inconsistent with the way that God made us. So God in Genesis, when he created mankind in the image of God, he had hardwired into us the understanding of what is good because it reflects the goodness of himself. Yet because of our own fall, we have distorted the perfection and caused evil to fall onto ourselves, onto this image. It's now a distorted image that we can never truly get back to without some kind of redemption. This explains why we have laws against adultery, yet as a society we're pushing farther and farther back against that and trying to lighten it up, which is why some states have gotten rid of the criminal law. It is entirely just a personal matter rather than seeing as a moral wrong or something that would be an actual crime. The main point through all of this is that without God, there's no morality. Anyone that wants to make the claim that something is right or wrong and do it outside of understanding our Creator and how he created us to know what is right or wrong, stand without foundation. They stand without basis to make that claim. So when we see a CEO cheating on his spouse and someone wants to say, well, that's wrong and it serves them right because they're going to face all of these consequences, you should ask them, why is it that they say that that is wrong? You call them out on that because they have no foundation and they have a fundamental inconsistency in their worldview by trying to espouse something as a moral ought. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the entire situation. While we were laughing at it, yes, it can be kind of funny. It's definitely unfortunate that someone else has fallen into sin and is cheating on their spouses. And we should understand as Christians, how can we respond to this situation in a way that furthers the kingdom of Christ? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.